Tonight on Joy News Prime, Ghana Catholic Bishops Conference joins the fray, backs Parliament to pass anti-gay bill, insisting the act of homosexuals is an intrinsic disorder and must not be approved. But Shraj Commissioner Joseph Whittal says his outfit has grave concerns about the anti-gay bill.
We have raised very pertinent concerns of the constitutionality of some of the provisions and clauses of the bill.
Also, Communications Minister warns that from next year, digital terrestrial television platform will shut down and there will be no TV signals if broadcasters don't pay for using the platform.
Government has indicated that it cannot continue to pay for the operations and maintenance of this DTT platform, and so the users of the platform must pay for the services that they use.
Now, in today's schools episode of Ghana Schools of Shame, we'll take you to Mepe in the Volta region, where pupils at the Christ the Answer RC study in a wobbly wooden structure with eroded cement bricks on the sides.
The person that is my headmaster has passed away, and I'm here alone without any assistance. But I know that if I'm here, the student will become somebody in future. So I'm just doing the work without payments. But we are.
At 8 p.m., Pius Kojo Baka will bring you Prime Business.
And bulk oil distributors to engage the National Petroleum Authority on the implications of its latest directive to prevent importers from supplying fuel into the country beginning from 1st January 2024 on its operations.
We still engaging and depending on who you are picking from and the volumes that they are bringing. You know, normally when you are bringing in a vessel and you know there are a lot of oil takers within the sub-region, you know that if you are bringing a bigger vessel, you can then reduce the parcel side and then distribute it.
Communication Osla Owusu Ekufol is warning TV signals to your homes and offices will be cut from next year because broadcasters are refusing to pay for their use of the digital terrestrial television DDT platform. According to the minister, the government, which has been footing the cost for the operating the platform, can no longer bear the cost, and media houses are refusing to pay despite several notices to them.
None of the broadcasters on the DTT platform pay for using it as I speak. And this situation cannot continue in our current economic state. GIBA is not a broadcaster hosted on this platform. So I don't know in which capacity they would be acting. They have constituent members who are broadcasters on the DTT platform, but none of them have paid a peswa to date for being hosted on the platform. So it is not correct to state that any entity being hosted on the platform has paid for being hosted on it. They have not. There is actually matters pending in court because they have been notified that government has indicated that it cannot continue to pay for the operations and maintenance of this DTT platform. And so the users of the platform must pay for the services that they use. That notification has been sent to the broadcasters being hosted on the platform. Some of them are negotiating with the management of the DTT platform as to payment terms for it. Others are adamant that government should continue to pay. But my answer is clear. The government says it cannot continue to pay for it. So if they do not pay for it, unfortunately, we may find ourselves in the situation where we cannot receive TV broadcast signals because the platform will be shut down for non-payment of the operational expenses that it incurs. It is incurring. So I think it's incumbent on all of us to work together to ensure that this critical national information infrastructure stays operational.
Now, during a question time in Parliament, the Communications Minister categorically denied that government has sold its 30% stake in Vodafone.
Mr. Speaker, the government of Ghana has no plans of selling its 30% shareholding in Ghana Telecommunications Company Limited. Vodafone Ghana, which holds 70%, has transferred its stake to the Telecel Group in February 2023. Under the shareholders' agreement, the consent of the minority shareholder is not required for Vodafone Ghana to transfer or to sell its shareholding in Ghana Telecommunications Company Limited. Consent is not required under the terms of the shareholders' agreement.
The support for the passage of the Promotion of Proper Human Sexual Rights and Ghanaian Family Values 2021 bill is in a full swing, as the Catholic Bishops' Conference is the latest to join the fray. The conference contends that the act by homosexuals defy morality, hence must not be approved, quoting authorities from the Bible to back the argument. Although the bill is still at the consideration stage in Parliament, the Catholic Bishops' Conference has commended lawmakers for the effort and time spent on this bill. Let's share with you details of the statement issued by the Catholic Bishops' Conference. Now, it says that, quote, the state on homosexuality, the church recognizes that the state has a duty to carry out in this manner, this matter of homosexuality with regards to homosexual act. While the church speaks of them as sins, the state does not use such language. Now, it says, for the state whose duty it is to enact laws to govern the citizenry, the language used is that of crime. What then is a crime? Crime may be defined as an action or omission which constitutes an offense and is usually deemed socially harmful or dangerous and is punishable by law. In the light of this definition, homosexual acts from the point of view of the state may be criminal in nature. For example, if a homosexual man rapes a teenage boy, that will be deemed a criminal offense, just as the same act carried out by a heterosexual man on a teenage girl would be deemed a criminal offense. Now, the statement continues to say that, in other words, these acts are not in the interest of the nation and indeed harm the nation. For this reason, there must be punitive measures to deal with such situation. Again, the lawmakers may decide that a man marrying a man or a woman marrying a woman is not in the interest of the state or of the nation, since in the long term, it will have an effect on the size of the population of our country if many people do this. In such a case, the lawmakers will be within their rights to enact laws against that. In such cases, it will be right for the lawmakers to criminalize such homosexual actions by punitive measures. It again says, quote, thus, we can say that while it is not right to criminalize homosexuals just for being homosexuals, the state is within its right to criminalize the acts of homosexuals in the interest of the nation. In this connection, we can state that the draft bill on promotion of proper human sexual rights and Ghanaian Family Values 2021, currently in Parliament, is in the right direction as it seeks to enact laws against criminal homosexual act. The bill aims to provide for proper human sexual rights and Ghanaian family values, proscribe LGBTQ plus and related activities, and provide for the protection of children, persons who are victims or accused of LGBTQIAA plus bill and related activities, and other persons. But this statement goes contrary to views expressed by one of the foremost bishops of the Catholic Church, Cardinal Turkson, who believes homosexuality should not be a criminal offense and people should be helped to understand the issue better. In an interview with the BBC's Hard Talk program, Cardinal Turkson said, quote, LGBT people may not be criminalized because they've committed no crime. Listen.
That, to criminalize anybody, you need to be able to identify the crime. Okay, so my position has always been LGBT cases are not to be criminalized, but neither, and this I think is basically what caused all of this in Ghana. because traditionally, the Ghanaian culture has known of people with, some such tendencies. And I say this because there is an expression in the local Akan language, that of mine, of men who act like women and women who act like men. There is an expression for it. It means that this phenomenon was known in the culture, in the community and all of that. But nobody went on to make any policy out of that. Now, I think what caused all of these was attempts to link some foreign donations and grants to certain positions which needed to be imposed in the name of freedom, in the name of respect for rights and stuff like that. I think that's what led to this thing going to Parliament and the position being flat. It's time to begin education to help people understand what this phenomenon is. If culturally we had expressions and terms for this type of, it just means that it's not completely alien to the Ghanaian society. Not being completely alien to the Ghanaian society, now that is coming out this form, what has to be the response? I think this drastic form that is taken in Ghana and probably West still in Uganda, it's been the perception that the West was imposing this, connectedly, linking it with some donations and grants and all of that. It's kind of politicized that in such a way that the reaction to it has also been equally political in character. But I think we could, all of this, from my point of view, and this is what I think, I speak about with a couple of other bishops, is to be able to understand more deeply this phenomenon.
So where do we draw the line between the thought of Cardinal Turkson and the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Ghana? We've been trying to raise the president of the Catholic Bishops' Conference so we could get some clarity, but we've not been successful. When we do, we will bring that to you. But still on this matter, Shraj contends the current state of the bill topples the fundamental human rights of homosexuals and their sympathizers.
We have raised very pertinent concerns of the constitutionality of some of the provisions and clauses of the bill. I see from the beginning of the discussions or the consideration stage that our concerns, some of them are even beginning to be addressed. But the key ones that relate to freedom of expression, the right not to sympathize with any person who professes that type of orientation, and some institutions having to undertake some education on the bill when it becomes law, we think it's quite problematic. Because you can ask the church, which is supposed to promote and protect the rights of all persons, to particularly indicate or advocate or train or educate people only on aspects of the provisions of that bill. We can't do that.
Now, Parliament is considering a $338 million project, which government says will revolutionize the road sector in Accra. The project, if approved, will see to the expansion of the Tema motorway to 10 lanes, while the N1 will be expanded to 6 lanes on each side. Other ancillary works included in this project include an interchange at Jolu. Here is Vice Chair of the Finance Committee, Patrick Boama, briefing journalists ahead of a joint committee of Parliament meeting over the project proposal.
Of the Liberia Road to Polo Club, Polo Club, and overpass to Polo Club, south of the Tetekwashi interchange. That's it, section 1. Then the second section, that's the N1, George Walker Bush Highway, is part of this, and the scope is 5.7 kilometers. So if you add it to the 19.5, what are you getting?
24.
24 points. Because 19 plus 5 is 24. Then you have 0.5 plus 7, that's 1.2. 25.2. So that scope, that's the second section, also has the rehabilitation and widening of a 12-lane road, the construction of the Jolu interchange, construction of 2 toll plazas and 2 new footbridges. Then you go to the third scope. That's the Nsawam Road. And it's the rehabilitation of existing 6-lane roads on the Nsawam Road. Then the Tesano area, that's my area. Okankwe Central, we're also going to benefit from this project. But this project is 27.7 kilometers. So one will ask, where are you getting the remainder from? So this is the scope of work. 1, the entire project is divided into 3 sections, 1, 2, and 3. And the first section is the Accra-Tema motorway, which is 19.5 kilometers. And it's going to be the rehabilitation and expansion of a minimum of 10 lanes on the motorway. Then there's also going to be the reconstruction of the Tetekwashi interchange. Then the construction of the Teshi Link interchange, construction of community 18-foot interchange, construction of the Lashibi interchange, construction of 18 toll plazas, like toll booths. 8, sorry. Construction of 10 new footbridges, enhancement of road traffic in Lagos. I'm sure those of you who live around Tema, you know where they call Lagos. Then the Lagos Avenue link, Accra north of the Tetekwashi interchange.
This is still the Joy News Prime. Now, spokesperson for the new force, Shalima Abuisi, has been released by the National Investigative Bureau. She's been on detention for 7 days following a charge of entry into Ghana under false declaration. Kaneshie District Court on Monday granted her a bail in the sum of 20,000 cedis with 2 sureties. Legal Affairs correspondent Richard Kojo Nyako was in court and has more in the following report.
Hundreds of people that have come in solidarity of Shalima Abuisi. They say that the rule of law should happen. They should not trample upon her fundamental human right. They've already detained her for the past 7 days. In fact, in court, she pleaded not guilty to the charge. The state prosecutors have been canvassing that she obtained her student permit under false pretenses. The fact that she says that she is a student of the Ghana Christian University College, according to the state prosecutors, that is not true because the university has actually written to them. And so they are in to prove whether she is a student or not. And they found her activities on social media advocating a new political party. And so the state is interested in the activities of Shalima Abuisi. We've been speaking with some of the people that have come here to lend their support to Shalima. This is what they have to say.
Yes, so yeah, my meeting Shelly. Madam Shelly.
Shelly Ofri.
Oh, ya na wa ye kan se circle haya Accra haya. Ono na boa ye ma me na boa ni nti na e wa ase. So munja no because ono na boa e kakra.
They can say we don't have nothing to say. All we say is free Shelly because she has been feeding a lot of people on the street.
Yes.
A lot of people are dying. Yes. A lot of people need redemption. And Ghana here. I see that there is no peace. There is no peace. All we see is police and no justice. All we see is police. So we need a freedom now. It's a new Ghana, a new face of Ghana, and a new people. Free Shelly. Free Shelly.
So where do you know Madam Shelly?
Madam Shelly, really, we know her. She has been a, let's say, a dual citizen of Ghana. Yeah, she's a half citizen of Ghana, and we know her. And we know her from the grassroots. It's not today. We've been working for her. She has a lot of entities. So we say, free Shelly.
For how long have you known her?
Oh, really? I've known Madam Shelly for about 8 years now.
My name is Asafacha Jatabermejinawaji. Madam Shelly is one mother that we can never go and leave her behind. She does the best for us. I remember some days ago she paid for about 5 people's tertiary institution fees. And
at where?
At the UCC. I
came to UCC as well.
Nah, she like we have her in our midst as a family, and we can never let her be in trouble whilst we be sitting in the house eating. So yes, we need to let the court, let the government, let the prosecutor, anyone knows that Madam Shelley is innocent of any allegation being leveled against her, and she is a mother of all.
What has Madam Shelley done?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah.
But you just came. I mean, which people asked you to come?
My brothers.
Your brothers?
Yes.
Where are they? Are they also here?
Yes.
What did they tell you before you follow them?
They tell me, say, make I come help them to come see Madam Shelley.
But you know Madam Shelley?
No.
You've spoken to her before? You don't?
No, but I see her for graphic.
Graphic?
Yes.
So that's the only place that you've seen her?
Yes.
Okay. She is a hairdresser, and then she also came to support. She said that she was informed by the brothers to come here to support the freedom movement that they are advocating. Now, lawyer for Shalima Abuisi, Francis Xavier Sosu, says that they are happy with the court decision. At least they know that every offense is bailable, and the court has indeed clearly stated so, and so they are going through the processes.
It's quite unfair to this young person, to be holding her for the last 7 days for what? For a felony? I mean, this is really unacceptable, and we are not going to allow it. What is happening now that we want to go and keep her and until whatever, I mean, very, very respectfully, that will be an abuse. It will violate her right to fair trial. It will violate her right to freedom of movement. It will violate her right not only under the Constitution of Ghana, but under the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. I mean, the UN Convention on Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. I mean, how do you treat a foreigner like that on your land? Ghanaians we are also foreigners elsewhere, right? And so how we want to be treated elsewhere is the same way we should treat other people here. So if you have an issue, no problem. You brought the matter to court. The court has admitted the person to bail. Please, let's release her on bail.
In the Kaneshi District Court, my name is Richard Kwejenyaku for Joy News.
So that is the latest development there, that she's been released, but more people, the youth, whether in their numbers, to support her. Now, let us speak to a political communications expert, Dr. Kobe Mensah, for a reaction on this, whether or not the group is achieving the purpose for which they started. I'm grateful to you for joining us here. Now, the group, the New Force, I'm sure, set out to achieve politically, to put their name out there. If you look at whatever has happened after the arrest of this lady, have they achieved the purpose with which they started?
Thank you for having me. Obviously, when you have a very new political party, especially one that has no identity or one that has no foreknowledge, people do not have information about them. Usually, you want to put your name out there. That's the first line of objective for any new group. You want to put your name out there, especially within the media space. So clearly, you would say that having been, having been able to get their name in the media space, having put up billboards, etc., and now a certain arrest, leading to they, getting into the traditional media, you would say that perhaps they have actually achieved their goal, because usually some of these parties are set out as a protest party. And so once you get that traction, then of course you would say that the objective has been achieved. But of course you cannot say that's the final. I mean, the conversation, the political conversation should actually go on up until the campaign period, up until the election period. Whether they're able to sustain it towards that end is another matter. And then, of course, somebody would argue that, indeed, yes, they have gotten their name out there, but is it for a good purpose? That could also be, debated. But I think that they have achieved their aim, getting into the traditional media, being actually mentioned alongside the other political parties, I think it will be a win for them.
I mean, they had put out billboards prior to this. How has the arrest contributed to putting the name out there?
Absolutely. I mean, that's one of the discussions that we're having. I don't think that you would have actually had a conversation about them, although we've seen the billboards, if this arrest hadn't actually happened. So usually, yes, they would have the monies to put up billboards, etc. But to get into the political discourse is another matter. And so having actually achieved this, I think it will be a win for the leadership of the new force.
All right. Grateful to you for joining us here. Professor Mensah is a political marketing lecturer at the University of Ghana. Still to come here on Joy News Prime. In today's episode of Ghana Schools of Shame, we'll take you to Mepe in the Volta region, where pupils at the Christ the Answer RC study in a wobbly wooden structure with eroded cement bricks on the sides.
The person that is my headmaster has passed away, and I'm here alone without any assistant. But I know that if I'm here, the student will become somebody in future. So I'm just doing the work without payments. But we are.
Welcome back to the Joy News Prime. Rusty roofing sheet protecting an already wobbly wooden structure with eroded cement bricks on the site is the simplest description one can give the Christ the Answer RC Business School at Mepe in the North Town District. With the shortage of teachers, effective learning has been adversely affected in a number of schools in the area. Clinton Yabua visited the communities and as this week's episode of Ghana Schools of Shame, we have a sense.
The structure is worn out, weathered and hangs loosely, but accommodates not less than 60 pupils in the school all the years gone by. The classrooms are crafted from standing wood, walled with plain concrete blocks serving as a mini wall. Classes come to an abrupt close when the clouds gather.
If the rain will come to the schoolroom, we don't have sitting place. So the madam will close us, then we go.
The school is located in the Mepe traditional area. The town looks relaxing with its colorful culture and people, but the quality of education in the area is diminishing. Christ the Answer RC Primary School is one of the few schools in the enclave. Recognizing the insufficiency of educational facilities and educational personnel in these communities, since 2014, that is 9 years down the lane, the situation here has been the same, no improvements. Their predicaments come on the blind side of an abandoned classroom block. This is the structure reported to be the new school block to replace the old dilapidated one. However, according to the assembly member, the structure, which is at 70% completion, has been left in weeds since 2020. Pitias Agbemo Nomenyo is the assembly member.
And we are hoping that as the contractor was on site, and what he told us, this project will have finished earlier for students to move into the classrooms. But as at now, you can see that the project is at roofing level. So all efforts for the project to be completed are proved futile. And as at now, you can see, even at the classrooms, when the school started, we had students about 200. But because of lack of infrastructure, most of them have left the school and parents take the students out of the school. So the few ones over here. As an assembly member, anytime we go to assembly meetings or sometimes I engage the DC on it, and he always assure me he will come to site and then work. But lately I learned the contractor said he's not coming back to site because he has not been paid. So he used his money to build the structure till now. So as he has not been paid, he's not coming back to site to continue the work.
I have
33-year-old Patience Nyamiche is the only teacher handling all the classes, from kindergarten to primary 6 since 2015. With no remuneration, Patience is motivated by the smiles of her pupils to persevere in teaching.
But we are two. The person that is my headmaster has passed away, and I'm here alone without any assistance. But I know that if I'm here, the student will become somebody in future. So I'm just doing the work without payments. But we are going to a lot of challenges. Sometimes you come to the school, how the environment is, it's difficult that you teach the children. But I put myself down so that the children will become somebody in future like me. So it's like no helping, no assistance, anything. So sometimes I find it difficult to come to the school. But sometimes like I just give everything to God. That one day, I also will become somebody.
Her situation represents just the visible part of a much larger problem, the shortage of teachers in the township.
Here at Open Heavens Grace Academy, the children are excited to learn, but their classrooms become noisy and full because there are no teachers. And the few teachers here trying to engage the students have to teach as many subjects as possible.
The number of teachers is not commensurate with the workload at the school, impeding their ability to cover the entire syllabus.
I teach all the subjects. Sometimes, as a human being, it's not all the subjects that you can be good in it. But because of lack of teachers, that we must force and go around, search for the rest, and make sure we teach them. Because the children cannot be in the club that teaching the rest of the subjects. So sometimes before you finish, you make tired.
The shortage of teachers has become more pronounced as Dagome Early Basic School shuts down after 25 years of being deprived of teachers.
Where we are standing used to be a JHS block where people have actually completed, but now the school has been closed down due to the lack of teachers. So we became worried and tried but did not get an encouraging outcome.
To fill the void left, the situation is seemingly being alleviated through the benevolence of volunteers and temporary teachers.
Daughters Foundation, our main aim is to supply teachers to help augment the challenges within the school and within the community. That is the basic reason why I was brought in. I've been here since May 3rd. I'm in charge of the ICT aspect for the lower primary. Because of the limitations, some of the children have low absorption rate.
Residents are appealing for a better condition.
So we appeal with government. Now, as they know, the future of every ward depends on school. When you go to school, you have no future. So we are appealing with them to come to the aid of the community and then help them finish the infrastructure so that students can move in quickly to improve their education.
We'll be very happy if we could get help from the government or any NGO, because this school, academically, they are doing well. They are doing well, but because of all these pertinent issues, the academic work, for my assessment, is going down because you don't have teachers in the school for maybe 2 years and sometimes a term. Then those teachers leave the school and the new teacher comes. It doesn't help. Educationally, it doesn't help.
Reporting for Joy News, Clinton Yabua.
Now, the National Democratic Congress in the Ashanti region has announced plans to hit the principal street of Kumasi with former President John Mahama to engage the public on the party's 24-hour economic proposal. The policy initiative by the opposition party has received both commendation and backlash since it was announced by the NDC flag bearer for election 2024. Ashanti Regional Secretary of the NDC, Dr. Frank Amwakohene, says the party is optimistic of strengthening the economy with the policy. Nanabuachi Yadom has the rest of the story.
Former President John Dramani Mahama, during his recent Building Ghana tour, touted a 24-hour economy policy which he believes will lead the country into economic prosperity. But the policy has received backlash from the Vice President and MPP's flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who has described it as a policy already in existence. The Ashanti Regional Secretary of the NDC, Dr. Frank Amwakohene, says the party intends to embark on a sensitization campaign to highlight the importance of the 24-hour economy policy.
We in the Ashanti region have taken a further step to make sure we deepen that policy in terms of understanding and in terms of breaking it down for the people of Ashanti region to know that the policy concerns everyone, every Tom, Dick and Harry in this country, and it is in to solve problems and help resolve all the economic challenges we are facing as a country. So what is this mega? We're going to embark on a retail campaign, and that retail campaign will take a form of a mega walk or procession through the principal streets of Kumasi and all other major towns in the Ashanti region. We are starting on 21st of December 2023.
According to Dr. Amwakohene, the policy championed by the NDC will lead Ghana into economic prosperity.
This won't be one of the usual works. As we go about our activities during the work, we will be engaging with the business community, the market women, the young people on the street, especially employed Ghanaians who are on the street and who do not have a hope in this government. We will be engaging them and be explaining how the 24-hour economy is going to provide jobs for them, and how the 24-hour economy is going to boost business activities in the Ashanti region and Ghana at large. It is known that Kumasi and Ashanti region is the business hub of Ghana, that is undoubted. But we want to quadruple that effort and help businesses grow and help businesses survive.
The NDC is set to embark on what leaders term the mega procession through the principal streets of Kumasi on December 21, 2023. For Joy News, Nanabuachi Yadom, Kumasi.
Now, Ghanaian economist Kwame Pianim has heavily criticized government's latest lithium mining agreement with a foreign company. According to the renowned economist, the agreement is not different from the olden days mining agreement the country signed with foreign companies, which never benefited Ghanaians. Speaking at the 5th UPSA annual leadership lecture, Mr. Pianim said the agreement fails to ensure the value addition, which he believes will bring enormous benefit to the country. My colleague Kwesi Adai Kwarting has more in this report.
The latest speaker to grace this year's edition of the University of Professional Studies annual leadership lecture is the renowned Ghanaian economist Kwame Pianim. This year's lecture was organized under the theme Reimagining Ghana's Development Trajectory for Peaceful, Prosperous Nation by 2057. Speaking at the event, Kwame Pianim disclosed that the leadership deficit in the country is costing every Ghanaian some $30,000.
Ghana and Korea started at the same level of per capita income around the 1960s. In fact, we were higher. 62 years later, Korea has a GDP per capita of $33,000. Ghana, $2,000. The leadership deficit cost is $30,000 per head of every Ghanaian, that people like me and the political leaders of this country owe as a reparation to each Ghanaian.
Commenting on the latest lithium agreement between the government of Ghana and Barari DV Limited, Mr. Pianim observed that the contract is not different from olden-day mining agreements.
In the Ghana Beyond Aid now, want to give concessions of lithium, just as we're doing it in the 1850s.
so that vessels will come to Tema and Takrady.
He added that the agreements also failed to ensure that there is value for money.
Botswana is trying to take its lithium, process it. Who is leading and helping them? Professor James Dapper, a Ghanaian professor of chemistry. We can dig it, add value here, so that our young people, our young engineers and chemists, will stay home to add value to our resources.
He further recommended that government must take a relook at the rate of Ghana's population growth, adding that the rate is inimical to the economic growth of the country.
We cannot develop, no country has ever developed a 2% growth in population. And with every woman, not every woman, the average woman having 6 children, we can't do it.
Some students shared how they've been impacted by the lecture.
So my key takeaway from this lecture series was that Ghana has a lot of potential and we just need the discipline to be able to follow the rules and do what we have to do as a country.
I learned that we Ghanaians, we should be empowered. That's the resources that we have in the country here. We should provide funds for the Ghanaian-based companies so that they will fund those resources. So that when the profit comes, the profit will stay in the country, rather than we bring in foreign companies so that they will take the profit back to their country and then develop their country while our country is still underdeveloped.
Kwame Impianim is calling on all Ghanaians to speak up against the ills in the country in order to bring the country back on the track of economic growth and prosperity. Kwesi Adai, Kwatin's report for Joy News.
This is still the Joy News Prime. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with showbiz. All right, welcome back. Time for us to do showbiz. And Jacqueline and Sumaya Boa looking so beautiful is here in the house. Hi, how are you?
Hi, Kojo. I'm good. What about you?
I'm good. I'm good. Seeing you is enough for me to smile, so it's fine.
Oh, all right. I'm flattered, by the way. How was your weekend?
It's good. Very good. Yeah. One of us married.
Yeah. Congratulations to Elikem once again.
Sure.
All right, so today, over the weekend, there was this event, Stars in Worship. Now, for 30 years running, stars have gathered in one accord, lifting incense of praise and worship to God at the 2023 Stars in Worship, from congregants to ministers of the gospel, men and women of God, traditional rulers, sports personalities, and to political figures. Hundreds gathered at the House of Miracles Auditorium to share God's love. Stars in Worship Concert 2023. There's more in this report. This year's event brought together high-profile gospel artists such as Pastor Joe Bisham, Fred Owari Jr., ACP Kofi Sapon, Great Ampon, Kofi Owusu-Pepra, Pastor Kofai, Akobwa Jr., among others. Explaining the rationale and revelation behind Stars in Worship, Prophet Samson Amwatson, the founder and leader of House of Miracle Ministries Worldwide, said, "Everybody carries a star, and whatever happens to the person in life depends on the star that they carry."
Everybody in this life carries a star. You carry a star. I carry a star. Everybody has a star. Whatever happens to any man in life is a star you carry. But the issue is some people are shining whilst others are not shining. And if we are following Christ, Jesus, even when he was born in the manger, the Bible said the wise men did not know Jesus, but they followed the star and they came to Jesus. So Stars in Worship is a concept that, bringing the different talents together, whoever you are, under one umbrella, believing God that as we worship together, as you are shining, me too, I will shine.
Ministration after ministration at the House of Miracles Auditorium was lifted with songs of praise blazing through the skies to heavens, appreciating God for his goodness all year round. For worshippers, the experience could be described as a glorious and impactful one. This year, the Prophet Samson Amwatson honored veteran high-life musician and composer, the late Louis Akwapwa Sr., for his contribution to Ghana's music industry.
When I was in the US, I was just praying one day. God said,
honor this man. Honor this man.
Receiving the award on his late father's behalf, a visibly emotional Akabwa Jr. said,
because this is something I was actually looking for my dad. Because say plenty don't know.
Wow.
My heart is now at peace because if I look back at the works he has done from the days of Amachi Dede,
Nicolas
Omania Champon, Daughters of Glorious Jesus, and others,
to Daughters of Glorious Jesus, they are who you to but those who are always behind, producers, you barely hear from them and I say, I hear the grass about me and Casakrami and maybe. I heard the so better mama will be a fellow artist. No, you know I can say. And the couple with it.
It is not today that musicians cannot stand on stage and say, "Oh, this my song was written for me by this person." God bless you, Prophet, for honoring my father even in his death.
With this great award.
The Prophet also gave 5,000 Ghana cedis to start a foundation in Akabwa's senior name. Morgan's Miracles also presented 10 students of the ministry with laptops and also paid the fees of 6 more students for their academic excellence. Former Attorney General Marietta Brew appeared upon MP for Ningo Prampram, Sam George, MP for Medina, Francis Xavier Susu, former Black Stars player Jerry Akaminko also graced the event. Well, that was an interesting event.
Yeah, it was.
Well, you missed, so next year you should be part.
I will. All
right, so it's another win for Ghana. Now, the popular 1985 movie, The Color Purple, originally directed by Steven Spielberg, has witnessed a remake directed by Ghanaian filmmaker Bliss Bazawule. Now, the premiere of the remake took place at the Distinguished Academy Museum in Los Angeles, drawing a constellation of stars and industry figures, all eager to experience this fresh adaptation of a beloved classic.
Oh, it will be a sweet one.
Yeah,
and I saw a Takrady boy in there. I saw a Takrady boy, and this was directed by Ghanaian.
Are you sure he was from Takrady?
Yes, the guy who was lying in the canoe is a Takrady boy.
What was his name?
I've forgotten his name, but he is a Takrady boy, and this is directed by Ghanaian. So 2 Ghanaians making us proud in this wonderful movie. Oh, I'm looking for.
Ghanaians are actually putting us on the map.
Yeah.
All right, now, in a shocking incident on Sunday, popular Ghanaian musician Edem Go Gedem narrowly escaped a near-death accident. Now, the rapper was returning from an appearance on United Television when the incident occurred on the George Bush Highway. Reports suggest that a naked woman unexpectedly crossed his path, leading to the collision. Well, he released a statement some hours ago narrating the incident. Now, musician Edem Go Gedem escaped what is described by the MTTD division of the Tesano Police Service as a near-fatal accident on Sunday, 10th of December. And also, Edem's car turned upside down after the impact of the artist. And he's fine now. Edem is currently complying with the police service for due process as the case is still under investigation. Edem has assured his availability to assist investigations he also assures his fans that he is safe, fully active, and kicking. And he released this some hours ago, so he is fine. But apparently, the woman in question sadly passed away.
Yeah, that's the sad aspect of the whole thing. That the woman
people have been sharing nonsense about it on social media.
Our condolences to the family of the bereaved, and all the best to Edem as well. Okay, so he says he's fine, right?
Yeah, he is.
So let's see how this ends up. Well, that's how we wrap up today's edition of Joy News Prime. There's more news on myjoyonline.com. Up next is Prime Business with Pius Kojo Baka. Have a great evening.
Hello, great evening to you. Warm welcome to Prime Business with me, Pius Kojo Baka. The bulk oil distribution company says it will engage the National Petroleum Authority on the possible implication of its new directive of preventing importers supplying fuel into the country from 1st January 2024 on the operations. Although the group admits the move may come along with some logistical challenges, they remain resolute in supplying the required specifications for the regulator. Chief Executive of the bulk oil distribution companies, Dr. Patrick Kweku-Ofori, has been speaking to Joy Business.
We still engaging, and depending on who you are picking from and the volumes that they are bringing. You know, normally when you are bringing in a vessel and you know there are a lot of off-takers within the sub-region, you know that if you are bringing a bigger vessel, you can then reduce the parcel side and then distribute it along. So now if you are coming in with a certain specification purely for a particular group of customers, let's say Ghana, that the other sub-regions are different. The logistics and other things may impact on that, but be it that may, we still think that we can negotiate and ensure that there isn't that much impact financially on that. But what we'll be looking for is to engage the regulator so that it does not somehow affect our export, because most of our members import the products in country and then export to our neighboring countries, Burkina, Niger, and others, whose specifications are somehow different. So these are some of the logistic challenges that we anticipate. But I think our members have done this for years, and they demonstrate strength in all, despite the challenges that have bedeviled the industry in the last 14 or 16 months. We still think that we've got what it takes to be able to supply the specification that the regulator required of us.
Our economist Kwame Mpianin has warned that Ghana's economy will continue to struggle if governments fail to add value to the country's natural resources. He argued that the adding value to mineral resources will provide an opportunity to grow the manufacturing sector and also create jobs for citizens. Speaking at the UPSA Annual Leadership Lecture 2023, Mr. Mpianin criticized the arrangement under which Ghana's lithium has been given out without adding value to it before it is exported.
Sovereign guarantee is when the government says, this engineer, Joe Ejaho, he has 15 years business experience in mining, gold mining. Okay, Joe, you can, if we give you a gold concession, you can mine it. Yes. What do the companies from Australia, America, what do they come to do? They come, they borrow money, hire our people, hire other experts from outside. We give them the concessions. They then take the gold that is in it. So on the ground, it's $500 billion of gold. Capitalize it, go to the market and borrow. Why can't Engineer Joe Ajaho be given a sovereign guarantee of $100 million? And all the sovereign guarantee says is that any bank here in Ghana or outside who finances Engineer Joe Ajaho, $100 million, if he's not able to pay, will pay. And the gold in the mine will now be part of his assets. What bank will not finance him? He can then recruit Ghanaian engineers, Australian engineers, American engineers to do it. And then we'll not be sitting in our bars complaining the gold mines are leaving only 15% in royalties. The oil, we get only 15%.
Now, the I2 Development Group has cut short for the construction of its state-of-the-art facility at the airport city. The project, which is estimated to cost $100 million, aims to enhance Kotoka International Airport's skyline and play a key role in increasing Ghana's tourism sector while addressing housing challenges. Speaking at the sword-cutting event, the chairman of I2 Development, Nabil Ahmed, said the project will play a crucial role in attracting visitors and fostering economic development in the country.
The project is kind of real estate project, including first theme park for the kids. It will be the biggest theme park for the kids. Second, we have apartment for sale, starting from studio up to 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, up to penthouse. And also we have something like of the shops. You can say it is like mini mall, not big mall, or 600 square meter. Yes, just in Accra, and we had some similar projects of this one in different area, like Marbella in Spain. Also we have similar to this, and also in Lebanon we have similar to this. And along with Micheletti, which they used to be our partner from for a lot of projects before. As a real estate is the first project in Ghana, as a real estate. But other different investment, we have investment we had before some kind of water factory, and we were distributor of mobile phone and electronics, and we work in the real estate.
In the name of the Father, of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Winner Big Ghana has launched Winner Big, a platform in Ghana where individuals can purchase a ticket with a small amount of money and stand a chance to win a car, big cash prizes, expensive gadgets, among others. According to its executive assistant, Ifwa Nyako, the raffle is aimed at giving back to the people opportunity to win items to cover some urgent needs.
Raffle will give players the opportunity to attempt to win amazing prizes. At the launch, 3 players won 1,500 cedis each. Executive assistant at Winner Big Ghana, Ifwa Nyako, explains the aim of the platform and its intended impact.
We wanted a way to lift people's spirits, like I said, to put smiles on faces, because to be honest, the truth is that it has been a long year for many Ghanaians, and a tough one at that. And so we were looking for a way to bring some excitement, and especially as the year was ending, we wanted to do this as a way to encourage people, give people some hope whilst having fun. You don't have to take the fun out of your life even while chasing your dreams, while hoping to get that laptop or that phone or some money you're hoping to get to handle some expenses that have been piling up for long, or something, maybe a laptop you've been saving for the longest time. Okay, instantly you can win this gadget, and that is exciting. And for us at Winner Big, what we look forward to is the excitement when people win prizes.
Winner Big Ghana Limited aims to create an inclusive space where participants can not only enjoy thrilling gameplay, but also have the opportunity to win exclusive prizes that cater to a diverse range of interests, while simultaneously contributing positively to the communities they operate in.
And that's all for Prime Business. I am Pius Kojo Baka. Prime Sports is next.
Welcome to Prime Sports with me, Razak Musbao. Now, tonight, Nigeria and Barcelona talisman Aishat Oshoala has been named the 2022 African Women's Player of the Year at the CAF Award ceremony in Rabat earlier today. Now, Oshoala also continued her blistering outings for Barcelona women in the Spanish League, while also guiding them to the UEFA Champions League success last season. Well, her countryman Victor Osimhen, the Napoli forward, was also named the Men's African Player of the Year for his stunning performance for the Italian side last season, which saw them clinch the league title. Osimhen was up for the award against Mohamed Salah and Ashraf Hakimi, who was World Cup semi-finalist. Now, away from that, Ghana Premier League side Dreams FC sealed an important away win in the CAF Confederations Cup journey with a victory over APC Lobito. The MTN FA Cup champions claimed a 3-2 triumph against the Angolan side on Sunday, December. Meanwhile, Midyama were held to a 1-1 draw by Tanzanian giant African Ababara Sports Stadium on Friday. Here is how the two clubs are currently faring in the groups of their respective tournament. In the CAF Champions League, Midyama, they are competing in it, and you can see they're in the same group with Al Ahly, and after 3 games, they are lying third with 4 points, and they are tied on point with Belouizdad there, and they have about 2 more games to play, and the top 2 teams from this group will qualify to the next stage of the tournament. Now, in the CAF Confederations Cup, where Dreams FC find themselves in, also in their group standings, they've got 6 points from the first 3 opening games, and you can see how tight the group is. Club Africain are top with 6 points, and Rivers United of Nigeria also top with second place with 6 points, and Dreams FC in third place with 6 points, and just about 2 more games to go for the group pairings to be done. And also in this group, the top two teams will advance to the next stage of the tournament. Now, Manchester United midfielder Scott McTominay has backed under fire head coach Erik ten Hag, revealing that the club's playing body is firmly behind the coach. Now, Manchester United recorded their 11th defeat in 23 games in all competitions this season following Saturday's 3-0 Premier League loss to Bournemouth. Now, on Tuesday, they will face Bayern Munich in a must-win game at Old Trafford to have any chance of staying in the Champions League. The midfielder, along with the coach, have been speaking ahead of the game. Well, now in basketball, Anthony Davis scored 41 points to help the Los Angeles Lakers to victory against the Indiana Pacers in the NBA's first in-season tournament final. Davis also registered 20 rebounds, 5 assists and 4 blocks, while teammate LeBron James added 24 points and 11 rebounds and a 123-109. LeBron James was named the most valuable player of the inaugural edition. That's what we have for you on Prime Sports tonight with me, Razak Musbao. Thank you for being part of it.